Yeah, good morning, Mukul, Pushpendra, Rakesh Raika, Ravi Raman, Rohan Modi, Shaurya, and Tirthak. So,
Good morning, sir.
we have at present 7 of you from your class. So, let us start today's class, right? So, again, the remaining of the Sale of Goods Act, the remaining cases. So, we will discuss the cases, and this first case, let me just request Mukul Swami to just take up this case. Mukul Swami. Mukul Swami.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, read this loudly.
A. An agent of a buyer had obtained goods from the railway organization and loaded the goods on his truck. In the meantime, the railway organization received a notice from B, a seller, for stopping goods in transit as the buyer had become insolvent. Referring to the provisions of the Sales of Good Act 1930, decide whether the railway organization can stop the goods in transit as instructed by the seller.
Yes. What can be the outcome of this? Pushpendra Pal.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Pushpendra Pal. How will you decide this? Yes.
Yes, sir, it can. I think.
Yes, Pushpendra.
Yes, sir, it can stop.
Louder, louder.
Sir, it can stop the goods.
It can. Why so?
Uh, and by
Yes, come on. Yes, Pushpendra.
sir, I don't know. Just a guess, sir.
You don't know? Come on, come on. Yes. Hmm? Yes, Pushpendra.
Sir, because I have become. Sir, if he cannot pay for the goods, then how can he take the goods?
Okay. But for the railway company should file a suit against him for the price of the goods.
But is it's still in transit? If they can stop, then there will be no dealing, right?
Is it really in transit? He has
Sir, it is.
obtained the goods from railway organization and loaded the good in his truck. In the meantime, railway organization received a notice from B, the seller of the goods, to stop the goods in transit. Whose goods it was? It was B's goods.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. And the railway organization has already delivered the goods. Is it still in transit? The
Uh,
agent of the buyer has obtained the goods and loaded the goods on his truck.
yes, sir.
He has received. So is it still in transit?
No, sir, it's not.
Okay, Pushpendra, let me just show you the previous slide. Okay, the previous one. Yeah, these are the conditions. Now, the seller must be unpaid. So seller is unpaid. The goods, he must have parted with the position. He has already given position of the goods because the goods are in transit. The goods must be in transit. It was in transit through railway. But is it still in transit? The buyer has also become insolvent over here. The right is subject to the provisions of this act. That is okay. But is the goods still in transit in this case? So these 5 conditions should be fulfilled in order to, you know, under the rights of an unpaid seller under section 50. Getting or not getting? So how will you decide it? Yes, Shaurya, you want to say something? Pushpendra Pal.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Shaurya.
So I think they cannot stop him
Why?
because so as you said, the transit is over. In the last slide, it was mentioned that the process must be in transit, and the transit is over. So
Harshit Kumawat, what do you say?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Harshit. Yes. What is your opinion? Soumya Deepa?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Soumya Deepa, you studied so much of
Yes,
disturbance.
sir.
Why there is so disturbance?
Sir,
Why there is so much of
sir,
disturbance?
sir, यहाँ पे ना बहुत it's a very network issue going on here. That's why.
नेटवर्क इशू होता है तो तुम्हारी आवाज ही नहीं आती. ये तुम्हारे
नहीं
हेडफोन में
sir,
प्रॉब्लम है, इसको चेंज करो.
मैम सर मैंने हेडफोन नहीं लगा रखा है.
तो फिर तुम्हारे जो स्पीकर है ना उसके कनेक्शंस लूज हैं. लैपटॉप चेंज करवाओ या फिर तुम्हारे
Sir.
फोन में कोई दिक्कत है. एनीवेज, सो वुड यू लाइक टू आंसर दिस?
Sir, I have to read 1 second.
Rohan Modi. Rohan Modi. Rohan Modi. I am removing you from the class. Yes, Parth. Parth Narendra Bhai.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Parth, what will happen?
Sir, first I will read this, sir.
Were you playing the time when it was being read?
No, sir.
Then Manan Goyal. Manan. Yeah, Soumya Deepa, have you read it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell what will happen.
Sir, wait. So it's a bit confusing, sir.
What is confusing? I have just shown you the previous slides and now you are saying it is confusing. Huh? I have shown you the previous slides, na?
Yes, sir.
Then, yes, Parth. Parth, you might have read it by the time. Parth, I'm removing you now. Yes, Lakshya Raj Singh.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What will happen in this case? Yes, Parth. Hope you have read it.
Sir, I was not able to unmute the mic only, sir.
अच्छा अच्छा, अभी बोलो, कोई बात नहीं. No problem.
Sir, they can stop the transits of goods, sir, because
Transit तो है ही नहीं. Is transit there? The agent of A has taken the delivery of the goods.
okay.
Yeah, देखो ना. What you have read then? बताओ, अभी ट्रांजिट है क्या नहीं है?
नहीं है सर.
मैं तो कंफ्यूज करूंगा तुमको. Now you have to be firm. You have to be confident about your own decisions.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. ट्रांजिट है कि नहीं है? Yeah, sure. Rakesh.
Yes, sir.
Sir, transit है sir.
है ट्रांजिट?
हाँ.
No, sir. No.
Yeah, Rakesh, what is your opinion?
So the goods can be stopped, sir.
No, goods can be
Because-
stopped. That is okay. Dadagiri karke you
Yeah,
can stop the goods.
No,
But
no,
can
not
it
like
be
that, sir.
legally stopped?
Yes, it
No,
will be
sir.
legally stopped.
Yeah, sure. What do you say?
No, sir.
Why so?
Sir, because transit is over, sir. If you can just go back to the previous slide, all the reasons you mentioned there, it's already fulfilled. I have only one doubt over there, that the seller must be paid. If the seller is not paid, like if it's insolvent and the seller is
So
paid,
that is what the catch is, sir. It
yeah,
is not written if this is credit basis or this is pre, like if it's paid before or something like that.
so I'm assuming, sir, if they are having a problem with the insolvency, so it's on credit.
Yeah, it's on credit only. That's why it's on credit, and it has the seller has not yet been paid, but the goods are going in possession of uh, the official receiver otherwise, because he will become insolvent.
Sir, I think they can stop now.
Yeah, because if you see over here on the previous slide, if I go, seller must be unpaid, must be parted with the goods. He is not now in possession of the goods. The possession of goods has already been, he has parted with the possession. The goods must be in transit. Here there is a problem. And the buyer must have become insolvent. That is also okay. And the right to subject to the provisions of the good, that is fine, because it is under that. Okay, so this was the previous one. And let me show you the previous question also. Ram sells 200 bales to Sham and send it by a lorry, 100 bales and 100 bales by railway, right? Sham received the delivery of 100 bales sent by lorry, but before he receives the delivery of the bales sent by the railway, he becomes bankrupt. Before he gets, okay. So Ram is still unpaid, stops the goods in transit. The official receiver on the Sham's insolvency claims the goods. Only official receiver can claim the goods. So here also official receiver is there. Okay. So here applying all this, that he is having all the rights to, Ram being still unpaid, can stop 100 bales of cotton sent by railway, not by lorry. Okay. Now decide this. Yes, Rakesh.
So yes,
Are
the
you
goods
still
can be.
okay?
Yes, sir.
You still say that goods can be stopped?
Yes.
Sure. What is your opinion?
No, sir.
Hmm?
I don't think so.
Okay, so Rakesh, how can you say that goods can be stopped? Yes.
It is in transit and it is on credit basis.
So how come it is in transit? See, it is
Sir,
already written.
So yeah,
And-
he's obtained the goods, but he's not left it. Even that's not written right there, right? He's not left the railway station. Even that's not written.
Whether a person has left the railway station or not. but now goods is in possession of the agent of A.
So then this is on credit basis. What is which you told?
Of course, it is on credit basis. Both the goods in the previous case also, this case also, it's on credit basis. So where the transit sorry, where the transit has stopped? Sorry.
Yes, sir.
Where the transit has stopped?
Where it is written that and loaded the goods on his truck. Loaded means that all the goods are now in his possession. So I don't think anything can be done.
Yeah. Rakesh, where do you think the transit is still going on?
So it is just loaded
It's loaded in whose truck?
in his truck.
A's agent's truck. In A's truck, better I say. It's one and the
Yeah.
same thing. Yeah. So if it is
But
loaded in A's
Sir.
truck, then yes, Soumyadeepa, you want to say something?
So the railway organization can stop the goods in transit because it's written here, na, B is a seller for stopping goods in transit as a buyer the buyer had become insolvent. In the right of stoppage transit, there has been exercised only when the buyer become insolvent, so they can stop.
It is not that if the buyer becomes insolvent, then only it can be stopped. Even unpaid seller, even buyer is not insolvent, he can stop the goods. Okay, but
Yeah.
only after receiving a certain proof that the seller is not, the buyer is not going to pay the goods, then only the seller can stop the goods.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so insolvency is one of the conditions which is there. Okay, but it should be properly conveyed. Fine, it is being conveyed over here.
Yes, sir.
But the transit has already been stopped. The goods are no more in transit. That is the question. Rest all are okay. Chaliye, let's see. Yes, Soumyadeepa, you read it loudly.
The right of stoppage of goods in transit can be exercised only so long as goods are in the course of transit. In the given case, the transit was at the end as soon as the agent of the buyer obtained goods from railway organization. Therefore, railway organization cannot act as instructed by seller, who has lost the right of stoppage of goods in a transit as provided in Section 30 of the Sale of Goods Act 1930.
Got it?
Yes.
So goods are no more in transit. And railway organization cannot stop, even after instruction by the seller. Okay, he has actually lost the right of stoppage of goods in transit because it has already been delivered. Okay.
Yes.
sir,
Yes, sir. Yeah.
sir, we can even interrupt one thing saying the credit has expired, right?
What has expired?
Now you told this is on credit basis.
See, when we are talking of unpaid seller, the things are always on credit basis. That's why he is
Yes,
unpaid.
yes. But now you told as the agent that the seller has died. So
Died?
I mean he's insolvent. I'm sorry. I mean he's insolvent. So even the credit can be expired, right? With that case.
After insolvency of this buyer, the credit will be expired. How come?
No of the seller, sir, because the seller is insolvent right now. So won't the credit
The
also be expired?
buyer is insolvent. Seller had become insolvent. It hardly matters. Buyer, a person who is buying the goods, who has to pay for the goods, has become insolvent. That's why there is a problem. Had seller been insolvent, no problem at all. Fine. Buyer has already paid the things, or he will pay it to the official receiver of the seller. That is okay. If the seller would have been paid, the right of stoppage in transit would never have been a question. Okay. Got it or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, I guess I
You just
misunderstood the question.
yeah. That's what the thing is. Anyways, you got this now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So please read it very carefully when we are looking at the question, because
Yes,
this
sir.
only silly mistakes, because sometimes the answer and all everything, all explanation we know, but just because of one thing overlooking, we just lost the context of the case, which is very important sometimes. Okay, so accordingly we lose marks in our exams also, knowingly that it is there. And right, Rakesh, take care. Right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure.
So let me just take you to the next slide. I think it is not working properly or so. Can you see on your screen the slides? No.
No, sir.
Hold on. This MS Teams is not a good platform. I have worked on other platforms also. These type of problems happens when when you really need it, and it wastes a lot of time. Between it crashed. What is being shared on your screen?
MS Teams.
Sir, MS Teams.
It's a stupid window. Hold on. Okay, I'm leaving and again I will sign in. Okay.
Sure, sir.
Yeah, hope it is visible now.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
otherwise, this I don't know what has happened to Microsoft these days. It has ruined it's ruining its image in front of people. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Now this one. Suraj sold his car to Sohan for rupees 75,000. After inspection and satisfaction, Sohan paid 25,000 and took the possession of the car and promised to pay the remaining amount within a month. Later on, Sohan refuses to give the remaining amount on the ground that the car was not in good condition. Advise Suraj as to what remedy is available to him against the Sohan. Yes, tell me. Come on, what is going to happen in this? Can Sohan say this that I will not means I do not want to pay you more, or I want to return the car and you give me my 25,000. 50,000 is still remaining from the Sohan. What will happen?
So Suraj can claim on
Suraj can claim from for rupees 50,000 on from Sohan.
either that, yeah. He can actually file a case.
Okay. What else? Yeah, Hemant Kumar Khatik. Oh, Hemant Kumar Khatik is on hold. I don't know what he is holding. Removing from the class. Yeah, Laksharaj Singh.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what will happen in this case?
Sir, Suraj can sue Sohan because sir, the property is transferred.
Okay.
He can file a case and then ask for the money.
Mukul Swami. Mukul Swami.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Mukul Swami, what will happen in this? Yes. Come on.
Yes, yes, sir. Just a minute. I'm reading it.
Sir, can I try, sir?
Who's this?
Sir,
Rakesh?
Ravi, sir. Ravi.
Yeah, Ravi.
Yes.
Carry on.
Sir, Suraj give a case on the Sohan, sir, because Sir Sohan take a car after inspection and satisfaction,
Okay, very
and
good.
and transfer of property is also done, sir. That's why Sir Sohan is liable to pay, sir.
Good. Because he has taken the car after his full satisfaction and
Yes, sir.
inspection,
Yes, sir.
right? And
Yes.
afterwards he is refusing for it.
Yes, sir.
Which is
Sir,
not
I
a
have one doubt.
Yeah, sure.
Even if he haven't done his satisfaction or inspection, and after 1 month he's not satisfied, can he can Soham say that he will not pay or anything like that? Because after 1 month or after any day, the ownership has been transferred.
See, it's a old car, number one. Secondly, there is no warranty, guarantee, or service conditions type of thing. He is just a seller. He has given him something like that. You want to purchase it, you purchase it. If you do not want to purchase, leave it. There is no force. He would have sold it to someone else.
Yes,
So
sir.
after having full satisfaction, he has taken away the car. Now he is saying that it is not in good condition. So the condition, then he would have seen the good condition or not at the time of purchasing itself.
Yes,
Nobody
sir.
Yes,
nobody
sir.
has stopped him to just see the car and assess the condition and then only pay for it.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
they have done it. So that is the thing.
Yes, sir. Got it.
So what do you say now?
Sir, same.
Sir,
Okay. Yes, Rakesh.
sir, there can be one more scenario, na, sir, that Suraj
Yeah.
takes back the car and not pays the 25 rupees thousand as he's used for 1 month.
Means.
Now, Sohan had taken the car and then he
Ah,
told he'll pay the money after 1 month.
okay.
And then he refuses to pay the remaining amount and says because the car is not in good condition. So Suraj takes back the car and does not pay the 25 rupees, the money which he's paid prior the taking delivery of
Then
the
wait.
car.
But for that purpose, this Sohan should also be agreed. That is totally a different case. Okay, and let us just say that he takes away the car. Then what will be the remedy for Sohan? Then we have to just find it like this. Here we are finding the remedy for Suraj because he is still unpaid.
So he can file a case now. So then,
Suraj can file a case.
yeah, Suraj can file a case.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, Rakesh, you read it loudly. Understand it and make everyone understand.
Yes, sir. As per the Section 55, the Sale of Goods Act 1930, an unpaid seller has a right to institute a suit for price against the buyers personally. The said section lays down that where under a contract of sale the property in the goods has passed to the buyer and the buyer wrongfully neglects or refuses to pay for the goods, the seller may sue him for the price of the goods. Where under a contract of sale the price is payable on a certain day irrespective of the delivery and the buyer wrongfully neglects or refuses to pay such price, the seller may sue him for the price. It makes no difference even if the property in the goods has not passed and the goods have not been apportionated to the contract. The problem is based on the above provision, hence Suraj will succeed against Sohan for recovery of the remaining amount. Apart from this, Suraj is also entitled to interest on the remaining amount, interest during the pendency of the suit, and cost of the proceedings.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
So it is a clear-cut
So,
case of
yes, sir.
unpaid seller. Yeah. So besides the remedies under the Sale of Goods Act, these three are the other remedies which are also available to Suraj, which he will be getting. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Good. Let us go to the next. Yeah. Sure. Any problem? Ravi?
No, sir. No, sir.
Ravi,
No,
so
sir. No, sir. No,
whatever you said was correct.
yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, Ravi. Now just take this up. Just read this loudly.
J, the owner of a Fiat car, want to sell his car for the purpose he hand over the car to P, a mercantile agent for sale at the price not less than the 50,000. The agent sells the car for rupees 40,000 to A, who buy the good faith and without notice of any fraud. P appointed the money. Also, J sues to recover the car. Decided to give reason whether J would succeed.
Yes. Yes, Ravi. What will happen?
Waits the understanding.
Yes, sure.
Just wait a minute.
Yeah, sure. The case is very clear, no problem.
Sir, J will succeed on the case because that mercantile was not in the authority to sell that goods like car at a rate which is
But
not.
A is innocent. He doesn't know about it.
But he can file a case on P.
Who?
J.
J can file a case. So here, J has
Sorry,
sued
J
A.
can file case on A. Yes, sir.
On what ground?
No, wait, I think I misread something. Just a second, sir.
Yeah. Yes, Rakesh.
So I think J cannot succeed in this because he'd given the car to P and then he sold it for 40,000. So it's P's fault in this thing. So P needs to pay the rest amount to J. Either that's the case, or there should be some other like J cannot succeed in the suing A, sir, because A is gone by a proper like what you say procedure by getting it from the mercantile. So on what basis will J win the case, sir?
No, sir, he won't win.
So J's suit to A will be useless. It will all go in vain.
Useless.
He cannot
Yes, sir.
recover the car.
So there's also one thing to be noticed, sir. J gave the car to P to sell it. So P is he has the authority to sell the car now in
No,
whichever
that is
amount he wants.
authority.
J recommended him.
No. It is not
J
about whatever amount he wants. It must not be less than 50,000. He told. So if he sells it for less amount, then he is crossing his authority.
He's crossing his authority, but he's responsible for that, right, sir? How is A responsible for that?
A is not responsible. A is actually taken it in good faith.
Yeah, but then A won't be sued for that case. J won't win that.
Yeah, but on what basis, Rakesh?
So J gave P the authority to sell the car, and he put a clause like you can't sell it below 50.
Yeah.
But he surpassed the authority and sold it at 40,000. A with good faith.
And that too, he misappropriated the funds. He never gave that 40,000 to A. A was means now the possession which A is having.
Yeah. So that cannot be recalled.
So I have one doubt.
Yeah, sure.
A who buys the car in good faith and without a notice of any fraud. So how can we conclude that? Like, I know that he buy in a good faith, but how can we conclude that it was a good faith?
It was a good faith means he was never known. He never knew that P has been told by A that you will not sell it below 50,000. Okay, and further, listen, and further, A was not having notice even that the 40,000 which is being paid to P will never reach J, who is the real owner of the car. He never knew that. He actually did it in good faith. Means being in good faith is that you are not at all aware of the authority of the agent. And whether the agent is you have that papers of power of attorney, but in power of attorney it is never written that it should not be sold less than 50,000. Okay, it is verbally only, and he might have given, or he may have given the authority in writing also, which was not disclosed to A. So A was always thinking that whatever P is doing, he is doing it in a good faith. Good faith means he is not at all befooling anyone. Yeah.
So these two are sufficient for innocence of A. These 2 points.
What?
That he bought the car in a good faith and he wasn't aware about the fraud which was done by A.
Yeah, and another thing, this is one of the provision of your Sale of Goods Act also. Okay, so this is what is called delivery in due course. In negotiable instrument also it is there. Okay, so let us just see what is the answer. Yeah. Now see, the buyer of the goods from buyer has bought the goods from the mercantile agent who has no authority from the principal to sell, gets a good title over the goods if the following conditions are satisfied. Number one is that the agent should be in the possession of the goods or the document of the title of the goods with the consent of the owner. Number one condition is fulfilled over here. Second condition is the agent should sell the goods while acting in the ordinary course of business of a mercantile agent. He is just doing it as if normally he does. Okay. Third point is the buyer should act in good faith. Buyer is not having any knowledge about all this. Okay. And fourth point is the buyer should not have at the time of the contract of sale notice that the agent has no authority to sell. So that what is a good faith type of thing. So all the four conditions are fulfilled. So in the instant case, P, the agent, was in the position of the car with J's consent for the purpose of sale. Okay. A, the buyer therefore obtained a good title over the car. Hence, J in this case cannot recover the car from A. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Because A is never at fault. Now what happens between J and P is totally a different thing. That will come under the preview of the law of agency. Okay, not under the Sale of Goods Act. Okay. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Let's see this last situation. A, B, and C were joint owners of a truck, and position of the said truck was with B. X purchased the truck from B. Without knowing that A and C were also the owners of the truck. Decide in the light of the provisions of the Sale of Goods Act 1930 whether the sale between A and X is valid or not. Now this is a sale by joint owners. What will happen? Yes. Come on.
Not valid, sir.
Swapni Deepa, you there?
Yes, sir.
Is this a valid sale between B to X?
No, sir. Because ABC were no, sir. Because ABC are joint owners, so X is not valid owner.
So B should have sold it with consent of A and C. Is it so?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Nandini, what do you say? Nandini? Nandini Khandelwal.
So one doubt.
Yeah, ask.
So valid means
Valid
X.
means that nobody is having any right or liability after this. That is the validity.
But that doesn't mean that X have to return that vehicle or something like that.
No, that's what it is. That X will not return it, and B and A and B and C will not claim it. That is a valid sale.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Nandini Khandelwal, you there or not? And I will just remove you from the class otherwise. Mukul Swami.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You have already answered one question, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Rohan Modi. Rohan Modi. Okay, anyway, we have exceeded the time also. Anyways. Yeah, so tell me. Okay, let us see. This is the last one. A person who is one of the joint owners may transfer the better title of the possessees. Okay, that he whatever he possesses. So section 28 provides that if one of the several joint owners of the goods has the sole possession of them by permission of the co-owners, the property in the goods is transferred to any persons who buys them from such of the one of the joint owners in good faith and has at the time of the contract sale notice that the seller has no authority to sell until unless he is having a notice that means he should act in a good faith that I was not at all aware about the things, or even if he is actually really not aware about the things that person who is selling out is having no notice. So in the given problem fulfills all the conditions in the requirements. A, B and C are the joint owners. B is having the sole possession of it. In such a case, X purchased the truck from B in good faith without notice at the time of the sale that B has no authority to sell. Then X acquires a good title and becomes the full owner through B, though B was not a full owner. Is it okay? Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because it's given because one of the co-owners can sell the property. Now the last one, B buys the goods from A on the payment but leaves the goods in the possession of A. A then pledges the goods to C, who has no notice of the sale to B. So it's a case of pledge. Okay. So this state whether the pledge is valid and whether C can enforce it reside in the reference to the provisions of the Sale of Goods Act. Now, what will happen in this case? The problem is based on the provision of Section 31 of the Sale of Goods Act, which provides an exception to the general rule that no one can give a better title than he himself possesses. If you remember, I just told you that one maxim is there, namo dat quo non habet. Okay, in that case, a person who is having the possession of the goods, he has somebody has pledged it and he transfers it to someone, then the other person will get a good title. So as per the provisions of the section, if a person has sold goods but continues to be in the possession of them, okay, means a person who has already sold goods to someone, but still he is having possession because the buyer has not taken the delivery from him. Okay, so still he is having possession of of those goods. Okay, or a document or title of goods, he may pledge them to the third party if such person obtains them in good faith without notice of the previous sale. He would have good title to them. So accordingly, see the pledgee who obtains the goods in the good faith from him without notice of the previous sale gets a good title, or you can say that it is a valid pledge. So pledge will be valid in that case. So this was all about your Sale of Goods Act. Okay. Fine. So now let me take your attendance also. Okay, and then we will part for the day. Yeah, tomorrow again we will be having the class. Probably at the I think at this time you have Dr. Jampala's class.
Yes, sir. At the Friday morning class.
Fine. Anyway, let me take the attendance. We will decide it. So Gautam Godra, Harshit Kumawat, Karthik Rajput, Lakshiraj Singh, Anand Goyal, Mukul Swami, Nandini Khandelwal, Parth Narendra Bhai, Pushpendra Pal, Rahul Jevaria, Rakesh Raika, Ravi Raman, Shaurya Dixit, Soumya Deepa, Tirthak
Present, sir.
Kirti Bhai. Okay. So